Hey guys, Telly Dowes here from Ty's Torque Talk. Today we're going to be looking at the 2025. This is the Mazda CX-90 GT trim. This is the plug-in hybrid. So the CX-90 has been out just a couple of years now. 2024 it came out into the market, replacing the CX-9. And then in the 2025 model year, they brought in the plug-in hybrid, the PHEV. And today we're going to review it all. Today we're going to talk about all the exterior styling on it, technology inside, interior, about how comfortable it is, all the tech inside there. Take it on the road for a test drive and see how it performs. Let's get to it. Okay, let's pop open the hood, talk powertrain here in this CX-90 plug-in hybrid. So under the hood here, we got a 2.5 liter inline 4-cylinder engine. It's paired to an 8-speed automatic transmission. This also has a 17.8 kilowatt hour lithium ion battery with an electric motor. So that's all together, it's be pushing out 323 horsepower, 369 pound-feet of torque. MPGs, actually looking pretty good in this. You're going to be getting a lot better fuel efficiency in the PHEV than you will with the mild hybrid version of this CX-90. So when you are in hybrid mode using both the electric motor and the gas-powered one, you're going to get about an average combined total of 56 MPGs. And then when you're on only gas, it's going to be 25 combined between both city and highway. 0 to 60 time in this, Mazda actually advertises it at 6.6 seconds. Independent testing, you'll see a lot of people showing that they're actually getting closer to about the 5.9, 6 second mark actually, so quite a bit faster. Towing capacity numbers, you're looking at 3,500 pounds. And then the overall weight of this vehicle comes in at about 5,167 pounds. When you go to the mild hybrid, it's a little bit lighter, obviously, just because it's a smaller battery pack and the electric motor, all that sort of stuff. So the mild hybrid is going to be about 4,735. So you drop down a couple hundred pounds, get a little bit more power as well, too, out of the mild hybrid. All in all, they are both very, very close together, though. But the fuel efficiency here in the plug-in is definitely where it's at, no doubt. But that's about it here for powertrain. Let's go talk about exterior styling on the front end here. Okay, front end styling. Let's talk about it. First things first, as per usual, the hood. It's a long hood, actually. You'll see that more when we actually go to the side of the vehicle there, but it's very long. You have some little arches going up kind of on either side towards the middle there, but overall, very just kind of simple design, appeals to everybody. They're not doing anything crazy wild that's going to appeal to only a smaller audience. But as you work your way on down, love the fully blacked out front grille here. I wish, because this is the GT trim, I would have liked to see maybe darker colored accents rather than chrome along bordering the grille, and then also on this lower portion here, kind of more similar to what you'll see in the premium sport trim level that's new for the 2025 model year. But hey, at the end of the day, it all pulls together really nice and looks very sharp. So whole flat black front grille. You have the big Mazda logo up front. It's going to house a little bit of equipment for like the adaptive cruise control and some safety features and whatnot. Right below that, you have the forward-facing camera. It does have full 360 camera group in this. And then you also get the forward park sensors. With it being kind of more of like a middle level trim level, I like the fact that it has, you know, all the safety technology, right? The adaptive cruise control, pedestrian alert, blah, 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 all that sort of stuff. That's actually pretty much standard all the way through all CX-90 trim levels. But it's nice to see like 360 camera, forward park sensors and everything just on like a mid trim, which is a really nice touch. And as you work your way down at the bottom, you have all black plastic here on the lower portion, the chrome in the middle there. All functional grille. This whole portion here is functional. And one other part that I really appreciate about Mazda is you got a functional air curtain here pushing air out along the wheel well there. You got a fake one in front of it, but they do give you some functionality though on the side there. The CX-90, love the headlights on them actually here. I far prefer them over the previous ones that were on the CX-9. So you have a really kind of nice sharp look. The only thing I would have liked them to do differently, and this is just my own personal opinion, the LED daytime running light, right? You have the headlight housing here and then it's separated and comes out over here. I would have liked to see this LED light actually connect and go all the way over. I feel like that would have given it a bit more of a sleeker, kind of neater design rather than it being separated, but at the end of the day, it still looks great. But yeah, LED headlights, high beams, all that. No fogs on the CX-90, but not the end of the world. That's about it here, front end. Let's go move around the side. All right, guys, wheel tire setup now. So we're looking at 19-inch rims here. These are actually riding on 255 wide tires. It's pretty impressive. You know, most of the competition out there is using like 235, 245. So seeing 255s is a nice wide tire, gives you a little extra peace of mind, especially up here in Canada. We're filming, we're winter's kind of right around the corner right now, and it's starting to drop in temperature big time. We're getting a little bit of snow here and there. So having a nice 255 wide tire on a vehicle such as this is great, just for extra peace of mind, being able to stay extra stable on the road. But 19-inch rims, they look good. I love the spoke design on them being all blacked out and everything as well too. I just would like it to be a little bit bigger. You'll see that on like the higher trim levels, like the new for 2025, the Sport. The premium Sport, and then also like on the Signature, you can get up to like the 20, 21 inch size. It just kind of fills out the wheel well a little bit more and looks a little bit sharper. But these 19s are great though. Then you also have black plastic here around the wheel well trim. Normally I knock that a bit, but honestly, it's starting to grow on me on a lot more vehicles now. It's just the practical side of my brain coming out. Just because it's going to help eliminate, like say, rock chips and stuff like that on your paint, potentially eliminate rusting down the road. It ages a little bit better. I like the way that the body color looks a lot better. Even say like a gloss black looks a little bit better, maybe a little bit more of like a premium touch. But black plastic, it's growing on me a lot more as time goes on. Then you get all carpeted wheel well liners, front and rear, to help out with a little bit with the reduction of tire noise and road noise. And then you also have the vents right in the front there for those functional air curtains that I pointed out at the front of the vehicle. That's about it here for wheel tire setup. Let's go look at the whole side profile of the CX-90. All right, guys, side profile now. So here, like I mentioned, kind of longer hood that I mentioned when we were at the front end of the vehicle there. You come down here, so the black plastic wheel well trim meets down here at the side skirting, shoots all the way to the very back of the vehicle. Then you have that chrome strip that runs along the whole bottom, and you got the Mazda name printed out there at the bottom of the rear door. Then right up over here, you have the PHEV plug-in hybrid badging right there on the side, also with a little bit of chrome around it and some fake honeycomb vents in there as well. And then, so a little bit more chrome on this vehicle here. So all the window lining here, your top roof rails, not actually on the side mirrors. Usually people throw like chrome strips in there. I'm shocked that this actually doesn't, but you get black plastic here on the bottom, integrated LED turn signals in there. And then you got the body color on the side mirrors here. This is the Soul Red Crystal metallic paint color option. It's kind of, I just call it Mazda red all the time. They've been using like pretty much the very kind of same looking red for a million years now. We also have cameras here on the bottom of the side mirrors there for the full 360 camera group. These are smart touch sensitive door handles here, so you can lock the vehicle just by touching your hand on the door, or unlock it just by putting your hand inside there. And as you come all the way on the back, no sloping roof, like a slightly sloping roof line, which I kind of prefer, just because then you get more vertical height here actually in the trunk behind that third row. Anyways, that's about it here for the whole side. Let's move around back, and then we'll hop inside right afterwards. Okay, guys, back end now of the CX-90. Have a look around. Looking good. We got the exposed windshield wiper blade there. They have an area right up here where they can tuck it up, right? There's a lot of vehicles out on the market that tuck up their windshield wiper blade up here and just kind of hide it from the elements and everything. And it really opens up and neatens up the whole back end of vehicles, and I feel like more automotive manufacturers should be doing that. But backlights, I really like the backlights here on the CX-90. Really sharp look. They kind of go in almost close to meeting in the middle here, actually, in the very back here. But you have this whole like little light bar there. It's all LED, right? Your LED, the like daytime running lights, brake lights, reverse lighting, and everything on there. And you got some chrome badging here. So you got your CX-90 all-wheel drive chrome badging, your Mazda logo right there, and then you got the E Sky Active PHEV badge on the back right there, because this is the plug-in hybrid. As you work your way on down a bit, or actually you got some black plastic right here, but then you come on down a bit, all the body color, little black plastic strip, and then you got another chrome strip right below that. Bottom right here, single tipped exhaust. It's a 4-banger. Doesn't have the best rumble. Have a quick listen to me getting some revs in on this thing. Yeah, so it's not, you know, you're not turning heads big time. It's like a V8 rumble noise or anything like that with this. But overall, back end, it looks pretty good. The one thing I'm just not completely sold in is the shape of this rear hatch. It adds a little bit of extra cargo capacity because they shoot it out here and then it kind of sucks in a little bit more. It's a different kind of look. You don't really see this kind of shape here on the back end of many vehicles out there on the market. It's growing on me more and more as time goes on. Let me know down in the comment section what you guys personally think about it. But that's about it here for the whole back end. Let's pop open the trunk, talk cargo capacity in the CX-90. We are filming today's video here at Kramer Mazda on the south end of Calgary, Alberta. They've been a fantastic dealership to deal with. All departments, sales, service, finance, you name it, and parts, can't forget. But they've been fantastic to deal with. If you guys are in the area and need a new ride, come check them out. If you want, you can reach out to me personally. My contact information is down below there. Feel free to contact me and I'll hook you up with one of the team members here at Kramer Mazda. Anyways, without further ado, let's get back to the review. All right, guys, right before you pop open the back hatch and have a look at the storage capacity, key fob time. Just your standard, normal, plastic, black Mazda key fob. Buttons there on the side to unlock, lock the doors, open the hatch, and then put your panic alarm on. They're on the side. Let me know down in the comment section what you guys think about the buttons being on the side. Personally, I prefer them when they're actually on the face of the key fob. I'm not a huge fan of them being on the side, but curious to hear all your guys' thoughts on that placement though. But without further ado, let's pop open the back hatch, talk a little bit about the trunk cargo capacity. So we'll start off with the numbers here. All the seats upright, second and third row, you got 15.9 cubic feet of storage capacity. This is the 7-seater. We have second row buckets. Actually, Mazda advertises when you have the 8-seater, the behind third row storage is 14.9 cubic feet of storage. Kind of interesting. But then anyways, when you have the third row down, second row up, you're gonna be 40 cubic feet. And then with the second and the third row down, everything flat, you're gonna be 75.2 cubic feet of storage capacity. It's pretty good. It's a good competitive number. These are all manual folding seats here in the GT trim. Sorry, it's kind of a pain to do that one-handed there. But so here it is. Nice flat load floor back there. I wish they would put maybe like a little aluminum plate right there just for sliding baggage and whatnot over top of it. And then you do have a tiny little bit of storage right inside there that you can utilize underneath this lip here. You have your charge cable, some tools, and some straps inside there as well too. But yeah, overall, the storage, when you have just the third row down, it actually opens it up quite a bit back here. You do have LED lighting in the back end here. You got your 1500 watt little button right there. And then you have the plug-in, the household plug-in 1500 watt, 120 volt outlet there. Over on the other side, you got a little 12 volter. And then you have like little hanging points and whatnot throughout the back here. When you move around to the side to fold these seats down, you got a handle right there. It'll fold it down, so it's, you obviously have a little bit of gap right there. These are on track, so you can slide them back and forth, these second row seats. And to actually get into the third row, use the shoulder handle right there. You can actually slide the seat forward to make it a little bit easier to get back into that third row. But that's about it here for the trunk. Let's move on into the front seat and talk about the tech a little bit inside the CX-90 GT. Okay, and moving on to the inside of the CX-90. Have a quick look around at the interior. We'll get to all that very shortly here. Start over at the doors, work our way on in. So at the top here, you have like a soft touch kind of plastic feeling kind of material here. You have the Bose audio sound system here in the GT. There's your little speaker for it on the door. As you move down a little bit, I kind of like the trim here that they actually do. It kind of gives it a nice little bit of contrast there on the door. You'll see more of that at the center console when we get there in a minute. And then you got this kind of silver plastic trim there as well too. This whole portion, all nice, soft, squishy, touch leather, nice, comfortable armrest there. And then the bottom half is all the cheaper black plastic, of course. And then you got a door bin here at the bottom. Good size water bottle holder, but you know, the width, it could be a bit longer. Most of the competition has a little bit of a longer door bin. You can fit some more stuff in there, but it is not the worst in the class either. And as you move on in, no aluminum sill plate here greeting you when you come in. You have these CX-90 all-weather floor mats because we are in Canada right now. And then the glove compartment, all felt lined, nicely damped when it comes down, and a good amount of room inside there. I know it's kind of hard to tell with all the manuals and everything inside there. And then moving up above that, you got a nice all leather dash up here. Looks really nice and sharp. You got some of that kind of brown contrast stitching that you'll see, or like tan colored contrast stitching that you'll see on the seats as well. The vents kind of look kind of neat. They have this like goldish bronze sort of kind of trim inside of it. It's nice that it gives it a little bit of contrast rather than it just all being black plastic. And then you have this silver trim that outlines that vent and shoots all the way across just next to the steering wheel. And then as we look at the seats, nice, comfortable, perforated leather. These are heated and ventilated seats in the front row. They'll be heated in the second row as well too. And you also have the full pano sunroof up top. I don't like the big bar though in the middle there. I like when you get the full just kind of window type experience. The bar is a little bit too thick for me, but at the end of the day, my vehicle doesn't have a pano sunroof, so I can't say a whole lot in that department. But let's hop inside here, close the door, and talk about this. So more storage here. So center console, nicely leather wrapped. Again, soft, squishy. You got the nice stitching on there as well too. And you can open up just one side at a time, or you can open up both. Inside we could barely 9 baseballs inside here. So it's a good width, good length. It's just not all that deep, unfortunately. But I like that you can open up on either side, just in case, if you want to just say as a passenger, opening it up just a little bit. Your driver has his arm on the armrest there. You don't have to bother him when you're getting on in there. So and here's all that trim that we saw on the door just a moment ago. Let me just turn down the fan speed. Oh, the fan speed is down. And then you have your little wheel here to control your 12.3-inch infotainment screen here. This does have Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, both wireless inside of it. You do have built-in navigation. I believe there's just like a subscriber. So you have to enter like a SD card and whatnot and save it all up on there. But we'll get up to that in actually just a minute. I'm getting ahead of myself here. You have your electronic park brake, your auto hold button there. It's your navigation button for your tunes, home and back. Here is your audio control, or your volume control I should say, and this is for like your favorite like radio stations and so on. And as you move on up a little bit, you have your cup holder, nicely damped cover over top of it, all plastic inside there. You have a button right here for accessing the 360-degree camera. You can use your little wheel there to get a couple different view options as well. Here's your side views. If you're parallel parking, don't want to scratch up your rims or brush up against something, you can put on that view. Nice high resolution. The only thing I have to say about it, actually I can't do a backup view from here. When we go over to the driver hand side, I'll just talk a little bit more about the actual backup camera and my one problem that I have with it. Then up past that, you have your hill descent control. Here's your shift knob. Good looking shift knob. You actually move it over to the right and then down for like drive or up for reverse and everything. And then over here, this is like a little, you click this, it's like the electronic motor. You can shut off the gasoline motor, turn on full EV, all that sort of stuff from that button right there. And then you also have the MI drive mode select. So you have your option between sport, normal, EV, and off-road. I'll just keep it in normal for now. And we'll talk a bit more about that when we get over to the driver hand side. And then also tucked up in here, you have a little wireless phone charging pad and then a 12-volt plug right beside it. Also, I forgot to mention here in the center console, there isn't a whole lot of charging up in like the center console kind of area. You have 2 little ports inside there as well too. And then just the one, I got my strap stuck there. There we go. And then the one 12-volt up front there. This is what I absolutely love here about this Mazda CX-90. All manual temperature buttons. You have your own little dedicated screen. I hate when they put everything all only into the infotainment screen. This is nice. It separates it, makes it super easy to access everything while you're driving. So here's your heated seats, ventilated seats for your front. And then coming up a little bit more, you have some vents, your hazard buttons, and then back to the 12.3-inch infotainment screen. Lots of good info that you can go through on this screen here. I'm not going to go through obviously everything just because we'll be here all day, but you have your energy flow monitor, which is kind of interesting to see where the power is going as you're driving around. Your battery monitor, I'll tell you your battery charge level is 65%. That's great. And then your Sirius XM vehicle status monitor. You can check your oil life or your oil percentage and everything like that in there. If you go all the way down to settings, you can go in your in-vehicle displays, and then you can adjust. So your active driving display is actually your heads up display. So you can adjust the height, brightness, adjustment, all that sort of stuff. Have a quick look at it. I'll show it to you closer when I'm actually on the driver's side. I don't even know if I'm perfectly aiming the camera at it just because I can't see it from this angle here. But there is a lot of good information here in the settings. It is a very kind of highly customizable vehicle. You have all your safety stuff, your driver assistance settings, a whole ton to go through here. Like I said, these do come very well equipped from the factory, right at the base trim level with safety features. And then while you're on the main home screen there, if you hit home again, it'll just bring you to a clock and just a kind of a clean page if you don't want anything busy and distracting you while driving. Then on the top here, you have just a normal rear view mirror, no camera in it. And then above that, you have like your sunroof controls, interior lighting, and then your sunglasses holder. That's about it here for the passenger hand side. Let's go hop in the driver's seat, talk about what it looks like from behind the wheel. Okay, moving on into the driver hand side. Door is pretty much the exact same. Obviously, you just have like your window and mirror controls. One thing I forgot to point out actually when I was in the passenger hand side are these seats. They are extremely comfortable. They're very soft, and you can easily do a nice long car ride in this without any complaints whatsoever. But anyways, steering wheel. It's a good looking steering wheel. When you get up to the very high trim, you get the whole tan interior color and you get the two-tone look on the steering wheel. It makes it look super, super sharp. It looks a little bit basic in this trim, but it feels good. It's all leather wrapped. It is heated. Now, the one problem I have with the heated steering wheel is it's only heated in this portion right here, right? So if it's middle of winter and you're driving like this, your hand's gonna be a little chilled unless you grab on over here where it actually is heated. Same thing with the bottom, it's not actually heated either. The buttons on here have a nice kind of almost satisfying click. It does feel very premium when you're clicking buttons and everything, but the whole left-hand side is all your kind of audio controls and everything. And then you have this little info button there, which will customize a little bit of the information there on the right-hand side. So you can get like your temperature readings there, your active sense status, your maps. If you have like a destination actually set into the navigation, it'll tell you like upcoming turns and whatnot, or you can just keep that off and blank and neat and clean looking. And over on the right hand side is all your cruise control options. You do have adaptive cruise control, and you have like a hands-free driving mode as well too with this. When you click the button, it will actually show you the little icon for it right there, where it'll actually do the steering for you. Same thing with up there on the heads up display. Try to get an angle where you can actually see it. I hope you guys can see it. If you can't, I'm sorry about that. It's very hard to get heads-up displays actually in the in videos here. And then your turn signal stalks, they are pretty light feeling. They don't have like a very, you know, premium feel. They kind of jiggle like a little bit. There's a lot of play in them, as opposed to some other brands where it's just the kind of a, you know, it's a nice firm kind of push down or up and whatnot. And it feels more expensive. These ones feel a little bit cheaper. Not the end of the world though. I'm just trying to be really picky and be super honest with you guys. You do also have paddle shifters on the back of the steering wheel there. They are black plastic. And that's mostly about it here for the driver. So actually I said I was gonna show you the backup camera. So when you put on the backup camera, high resolution, looks great. The only problem I have with it is it's almost as if the backup camera is just like tilted downwards. I wish they would tilt it up ever so slightly just so you could see things farther away. We are actually parked on perfectly flat level ground right now, and it's angled down too much, and it actually really bothers me. I'm not gonna lie, the resolution's great, like the image, everything like that. When you pull it back up, the 360 shot there, it's very accurate. It's very, again, high resolution. I love it. It's just, yeah, I don't know why. It's as if it's angled down just a little bit too much. And again, it just bothers me. It drives me nuts kind of when I'm actually using it. But that's about it here for the whole driver's seat. Well, actually, one more thing I forgot, actually. Right over down here, you have that sense button right there, your park sensors, front and back and everything, your traction control. And then you have your memory seating there for 2 people, and then a little button to open up the rear lift gate. But that is now it now for the driver's seat. Let's go hop in the second row and see how comfortable it is back there. Okay, everybody, second row seating now. Starting off at the doors, you do have privacy shades in the back, which is a very nice touch. About the same size door bin, but in the back, you got 2 water bottle holders. I don't know why your front seat doesn't get that, or even just the actual whole thing's actually a little bit wider in the back here. I don't know why they didn't do that in the front. But anyways, have a look back here. Very nicely well appointed. These seats are great. Like I mentioned before, to get into the rear, you just use that shoulder latch there, and it makes it nice and easy to access the third row. But anyways, these seats are on track, so I'm going to slide it all the way back as far as it can go. So in this position, knee room, foot room are great. I can extend my legs almost 100% of the way. My knees are nowhere near touching. The one problem is if you have somebody that is maybe a little bit taller in that third row and you can't have it slid back all the way. I mean, at the end of the day, like my knees still, they aren't touching. I have it slid up pretty much all the way forward. I can't extend my legs at all though. That's the one problem there. And then the knee room, again, I'm not touching, but it just, I would like to have a tiny bit more room. But I'll slide it on back. Hopefully you don't have a whole lot of rear seating passengers. Here in the middle, I like that they put like a weather floor liner actually in the center. So if you are crawling back without using the sliding one of the seats forward and going in through the door, you can crawl back here and you're not going to muck up the whole carpet, which is kind of a nice touch. Back here, you do have heated seats for your second row passengers and their own climate control buttons. You got a couple vents right here. I wish they would add maybe some ceiling vents. You see that again on a lot of the competition out there. You don't get it here in the CX-90. So one thing to keep in mind. But overall, it is very comfortable. Back here, you do have some built-in little ratchet style armrests for your second row seating passengers. But let me slide the seat forward. I'll climb into the third row. Actually, right before we climb back there, the one thing back here, oh, actually, no, you do have them. I didn't see them before. You do have vents there on the sides. Yeah, 2 cup holders per side for your third row passengers. You even get a little charge ports there on either end. But then when you go and actually climb in here, all right, so that seat there is folded all the way back. There's no way in heck that I am fitting my legs in behind that, right? And so when I put the seat back, right, so this is kind of in the middle position, whereas this is slid all the way back. As you can see there, I'm not climbing back there. When it's in the middle position, kind of maybe slightly more towards the front, it's not bad back here actually. And shockingly, my hair is just ever so slightly brushing. Let me sit upright. My head is just starting to brush. I'm 6 feet tall on the dot. For a third row seat in a mid-size SUV, that's not bad at all. I can't really complain about that. Usually headroom is much worse back here. That's just because like when I worked back outside, it doesn't have a harsh sloping roof line. And that really helps this third row area here. But that's about it back here. Let's go hop behind the wheel, take this thing out onto the road. Okay, driving the Mazda CX-90 GT plug-in hybrid. It's a nice vehicle. It's pretty quiet inside. Right, you don't get a ton of like road noise and like wind noise and whatnot. Kind of in a busier area, so it's hard for me to do like an actual full-blown like launch here, like from a standstill. So I'm gonna go from 30 kilometers an hour to 100 here. 3, 2, 1, let's go. And that's 30 to 100 kilometers per hour. In sport mode as well too. But actually it's pretty good jam inside of this. When you throw it on to sport mode, the whole dash goes all, or the whole driver display there goes all red and everything. Yeah, it's a good amount of power. Just the 4 banger. That's the one thing. That 4-cylinder, the inline 4 engine there. It's a little noisy. It's a bit of a kind of droning noise to it, but yeah, power output's great. It's more than really any you guys are really gonna need. It's 323 horsepower, 69 pound-feet of torque. It's pretty good numbers. They are overly impressive. Like, see, the Mazda has come a long way in that department. A lot of their engines, older ones and whatnot, where they're kind of all lacking power and a little bit of jam. They're always kind of like really like nice and like fuel efficient over the years, but it was always lacking power. So it's nice that they introduced like this PHEV here with, north of 300 horsepower and torque numbers. Especially same thing with the mild hybrid as well too, which you'll get a little bit more jam out of. And it's a little bit lighter actually as well too, as you guys know, by like 400 or 500 pounds. But yeah, and honestly, like the fuel economy is still up there. Like with this thing being, in in the 50s for MPGs is very expensive, or is very impressive, with having again 323 horsepower, 369 pound-feet of torque. You don't see that every single day. I do like this plug-in hybrid powertrain. If I were to buy a CX-90, I don't know if I would go this route or the mild hybrid. I think I'd personally myself lean a little bit more towards the mild hybrid personally. Just so I don't have to like worry about, plugging it in regularly, all that sort of stuff. Like I like just that it's just kind of always working in the background. But anyways, like kind of moving on back to this vehicle here. Like the seats are super comfortable. It is very well equipped for a mid-trim vehicle. It being a GT, the fact that it has like heated, cooled seats, leather all around, pano sunroof, loving the black headliner actually as well too. A nice kind of good feeling leather wrap steering wheel. It's not the most premium feeling, but it's great. It's above, you know, it's kind of, well, maybe average, maybe right above average for feeling of the steering wheel. But the tech, you know, the screen, I've always liked the Mazda screens. The one thing I wish that it was I wish they would make it both touch screen and you can have a dial. I prefer touch screens. I just don't like having, like, while you're driving around, it's kind of difficult sometimes until you get a really good feel for it and you kind of memorize like how many clicks to get to certain areas and whatnot. But like me personally, I just prefer having a touch screen there. But I'm sure after like owning the vehicle very quickly, you would get used to it. And the manual temperature buttons, that's one of my favorite parts with it. When you turn on like the cameras while driving, they do turn off after a little while you're actually in motion. There's not really many vehicle manufacturers out there that will actually stay on the whole time. Like really, like one of like the only ones out there is like General Motors, whether it be like GMC, Buick, Cadillac, Chevrolet. But the cameras are super high resolution. I love them. It's just the backup camera, how it's kind of tilted down like that. It's a little frustrating. Quick little acceleration from the standstill. That gets up to speed actually really quick. Like the power is very impressive in this. I never actually floored it yet right from a standstill. It's nice because those electric motors give you that instantaneous torque, and then the gas motor kind of fills in all the gaps and everything. But it is very peppy. Like it's more power than you'll need with great fuel efficiency. So it kind of ticks off a lot of boxes for, you know, most people out there shopping for a mid-size 3-row SUV. So anyways, that's about it here for my test drive. I gotta bring the Mazda back now to Kramer Mazda here in Calgary, Alberta, and see you guys back outside. Okay guys, that's about it for today on the 2025 Mazda CX-90 GT plug-in hybrid. Let me know down in the comment section what you guys think about this vehicle. Do you guys like it, love it, hate it, and how does it stack up against the competition? If you are in the market for a mid-size 3-row SUV, are you going to be going CX-90? Are you going to go Toyota Highlander, GMC Acadia, Chevy Traverse? Let me know down in the comment section. Really curious to hear. But other than that, guys, if you guys are subscribers to the channel already, thanks for following, supporting, liking, sharing all the content here. If you're not a subscriber, though, don't forget to hit that like, comment, subscribe button. All the ones down below. We'll see you guys on the next one.